Weird. Okay, that's fine. All right, so let's see. We are doing a Tatsunari deck. What is this? The hell? Oh, why does this keep switching? What? I don't understand why this keeps switching sources. Or it's switching scenes. Oh, whatever. All right. What should we call this? Let's go nice and simple. A rogue. See, now I'm paranoid. Now I'm paranoid that this thing is just going to switch scenes on me without my say-so. And y'all won't be able to see or hear me. All right, so Tatsunari is gonna be our commander. Now, the immediate thought with Tatsunari is Frog Tribal, right? And I don't know if that's what I want to do, because from what I have seen of Frog Tribal, or just what I've looked at for frogs, it seems like that's a very Sultai graveyard deck, and I just don't know if I want to do that. So, well, let's take a look at frogs. Exclude uh, those colors. So, let's see. Bark Ripper is a 3-mana 4/4 with Threshold. Uh, Murk Diver 4/3 with Swamp Walk for 6. That's not happening. Entered Scavenger. It's a 3/3 for 3 with Pro Black. You have to sacrifice it unless you put a card from your graveyard on the bottom of your deck. I don't think so. Swarm Sniper is a 3-mana 1/4 with Reach. Block multiple creatures. 2/2 for 3 with Pro Blue and Cycling 2. Chapto. No. I don't mind Krakenora. Krakenora is not bad. I actually quite like Excavating Aneroid, so let's put that in. Krakenora is a 1/3 with Reach for 3 with Evolve. And Tatsunari is a 1/3 or a 3/3, and so is was it Kima? So either way, so I mean, just playing Tatsunori the turn after Krakenora would get me, would make Krakenora a 3/5. Yeah, we can put it in. I really like Froghemoth, so that can go in. Galloping Lizrog. I don't know that I want to do anything with +1 counters. See, this is what I'm talking about. Self-mill and graveyard relevance. I'll put it in for now. Same with Grolnok, but Halo Hopper has Convoke. Leapfrog, no. Jade Avenger, 2/2 Bushido, meh. Hezro, Haze Frog. Not super um super enthusiastic about some of these. Plaxcaster isn't bad. Can give Shroud, that's not bad. Omnibian. Put Omnibian in for now. Species Gorger's alright. Spore Frog I hate. I have a grudge against Spore Frog, just from general Sultai graveyard nonsense. So I will not put it in this Sultai graveyard nonsense. Gitrog, of course, is good. Trollbred. Again, I don't know if I want to do +1 counter stuff. And this is explicitly +1 counter stuff. Unwilling Ingredient. 1 mana, 1/1 with Menace. 3 mana, exile from your graveyard, draw a card, lose a life. That's not good, but it's not terrible. Urg. Spawn of Turg. Let's discount Gitrog. I do like Surveil every turn. That's not bad. Live Tongue Frog is a 1/3 that can get Reach, which is familiar as 3 mana, 2/3. Enter into the 2 mana, 3/3 that makes me lose life. No, but I will put Yargle Multani and just Yargle in. Okay. Next, let's look at things that involve frogs. Broken Counterpart. Create a token that's a copy of target non-frog creature. Damn, so I can't use that for Hema. I mean, she's legendary anyway, but that would have been nice. And again, it has flashback, so it's a graveyard thing. But that could be very useful. So Frogify is not bad. This switch sources again? Alright. Um, I have no idea why this is happening. It should be on this scene. Why is this? Why does it keep switching scenes? For some reason, that just kept switching scenes so that you weren't able to see anything. Hopefully that fixed it for now. I don't know. I'll try to keep an eye on it. You already have Grolnok, Leapfrog. What does Incubation, Incongruity do? Oh, that's a rapid hybridization, except with Exile. And let's top 5 cards of your library. You reveal a creature card, put it in your hand. Eh. Got my eye on you, Twitch and OBS. I don't know why you randomly switched, but okay. Really, the main thing is Tatsunari's Tatsunari making Kami, Keimi, Kami. Legendary 3/3 black and green frog creature token with whenever you cast an enchantment spell, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. So having Yargle and Multani for the bit that says Tatsunari and target frog you control effectively gain flying, sure, that's fine. But really, I think we're looking at the enchantment bit. So let's look at enchantment support in these colors. Because I know there is some. Let's see. Now, unfortunately, it is cast. I did think about using like Eldraine's. Are you kidding me? It just switched scenes again. Why? So I did think about using Eldraine's rolls, but they don't work with Tatsunari because it's not when an enchantment enters, it's when an enchantment is cast. So we're looking for enchantment creatures. We're looking for just enchantments, really. Ramp, card draw, that sort of thing. But also for stuff that triggers when you play enchantments or when an enchantment enters, like enchantresses, like Argothian Enchantress. Now that one's expensive, so probably not. But other enchantresses, yes. Argothian is $40. Oh my god. Okay. Every enchantment you control is put into a graveyard from the battlefield. Draw a card. That's not terrible. We'll consider that. That is terrible. We will not be considering that. Balduvian Shaman. Permanently change the text of target white enchantment you control. Does not have cumulative upkeep by replacing all instances of one color word with another. And give it cumulative upkeep 1. Okay. Well, we will not have white enchantments, so that does not matter. Bane of Progress. So like Blightcaster. I'm a fan of Blightcaster, and it plays well with that Omnibian that we put in. Actually, it plays well with a lot of the Turn to Frog stuff, so maybe we'll put more of that in. Actually, Benefaction of Ronus. At the top 5 cards of your library, you may put a creature and or an enchantment from among them into your hand with the rest in your graveyard. That's not bad. What is Cacophony Unleashed? Enters the battlefield if you cast destroy all non-enchantment creatures. It or another enchantment enters the battlefield under your control, becomes a 6/6 Nightmare God with Menace and Death Touch. What is that? It's from a commander set, but what commander set is that? Huh. I do not remember that card. Hmm. This seems relevant. Cemetery Tampering, sure. Poster of Spring. Maybe. Commune with the Gods is a lot like Benefaction of Ronus. In Court of Vantress enters battlefield, you become the monarch. Interesting. I don't know if I want that. Sure, why not? Crystal Chime seems useful. Demon of Fate's Design. Yes, that does seem useful. Destiny Spinner's good. You're playing a lot of enchantments. Oh, yes, please. Enchantment board wipe. That seems good. Dominating Licit. I don't like Licits. Also, they are not cast as enchantments, so that would not fit very well. Eidolon Blossoms. Very good, very good. Elvish Archivist is not bad, but it only triggers once each turn, so that's not great. Enchantress Presence, on the other hand, is really good. Hmm. Yeah, see, if it was when an enchantment enters, then stuff like Estrid's Invocation would be really, really good because they leave and come back. Or I could use the cursed, or not the cursed, the roll tokens, but that is not the case. Enchantment. There can't be many of those. Light rigging. It's another hideaway. Yeah. Floodtide Serpent's interesting. It's a 4/4 for 5 that can't attack unless you return an enchantment you control to its owner's hand. So you would be able to get multiple triggers off of one enchantment because you could just keep bouncing it for Floodtide Serpent. But I don't know if I like that. I think I'd rather have something like the Species Gorger from earlier where it just bounces at upkeep. But We'll keep looking. And recast an enchantment, put a +1 counter on target creature, sure. Gloom. White spells cost an additional 3 to play. Activated abilities of white enchantments. Activated abilities of white enchantments. That's so specific. That is so specific. Grim Guardian is basically what Tatsunari does, so redundancy is good. Harmonic Convergence is Legend of Korra. Helix Pinnacle. We could do Helix Pinnacle. Huh. Helix Pinnacle would not be... or it would be funny. Enchantment. Sure, Herald the Pantheon. See, like, there's two ways to build this, from what I can see. Because if you go all in on the frogs, it becomes a Sultai Graveyard deck, and if you go all in on the enchantments, it becomes an Enchantress deck. Although without white, so that's a little tricky. But oops. Hoodwink, Umber of Mortals. That just gets everything trample. Hypergenesis Hush. Problem with searching for cards that mention the word enchantment in green is a lot of it is just destroy. I am gonna want oh no, I've just blanked on the name. Sanguine Bond. I do want Sanguine Bond. Not Exquisite Blood. I just want Sanguine Bond because and stuff like it because Tatsunari does gain life. Sure. Yeah, most of this is just enchantment removal, which is good, but is not what I want right now. Just oh, she's destroys, right. I was like, what does Nissa do with enchantments? She destroys them. We could make this a frog. I mean, technically we can with Omnibian, but then it becomes a 3/3, not a 10/10. Sure. Card Dryads, Oath the Ancient Wood. Oath the Ancient Wood is not bad. One with the stars is a good way to get rid of commanders. Outland Liberator. Sacrifice to destroy an artifact for enchantment. Sacrifice to destroy. Wow, yeah, so that's just full on enchantment destruction. Damn, green has a lot of ways to destroy enchantments. Which, like, you know, that when you just kind of off the cuff, you're like, oh, what color is good at destroying enchantments? Well, green's pretty good at it. But then you actually look and see all of the uh all of the enchantment destruction in green, and it is overwhelming. Riptide Chimera is a lot like the Species Gorger, where beginning of your upkeep, return an enchantment you control to its owner's hand. So that is another way to keep triggering. Oh no. You do Tatsunari Mill. We're not going to, but we could. Really? Sanctum Weaver's not even $1? I really thought that would be more, because that card is insane. Oh, Contestant Champion is good. I really want, or one thing that green is also really good at with Enchantress stuff is, well, Enchantresses, they draw cards when you play enchantments. So I do want those. We need card draw and we need ramp. And I'd prefer most of the stuff to be on enchantments. So like here's Seal of Primordium, sacrifice to naturalize, but it's on an enchantment, so it will trigger Tatsunari. This is another one that bounces an enchantment. Huh, I don't remember that Soul Transfer card. That's from Neon Dynasty, but I don't remember that card. It's one of the um, ones that cares about you having an enchantment and an artifact, but yeah, that's one that I don't remember. What is status and statue? Oh, enchantment removal. Who would have guessed? Excuse me. That's useful. Sultai Charm is just a good card anyway. Oh, Tackle Maggot. That's a... How does that card actually work? I know I've looked at this before. Tackle Maggot. 4 mana enchantment aura. At the beginning of the upkeep of enchanted creature's controller, put a -0/-1 counter on that creature. When it dies, that creature's controller chooses a creature that Tackle Maggot could enchant. So you put it on a creature, and then that creature's controller. That creature's controller puts it on the battlefield, enchanting a creature still under your control, though. What? If they don't, if the this is such a weird card. I'm just gonna say no to that one. Oh no. Ugh. I don't I don't know why it keeps switching that. Okay, so no to tackle maggot. I really could do enchantment mill, couldn't I? It's in the colors for it too. Hmm. Honestly, what's the other? Don't really want to scroll all the way up. Oh, there it is. Sage of Mysteries. Target player mills 2. Honestly, in this deck, that might just you might want to just mill yourself with it. Huh. That's interesting. I don't think that's what I want to do with this, but that's an interesting thought. Thirst for Meaning is good. I was about to say, oh, I don't recognize Tranquil Thrillback. Yeah, that's because it's from, is that March of the Machine Aftermath? Yeah, I did not follow that set basically at all. Now, what I would really like, I would love to put Ariette of the Charmed Apple or something like that. Um, the new one from Eldraine, the white black one in this deck. I think that would be really cool. But she's white black and Tatsunari is Sultai. So that is not a thing that is going to be happening. Not huge on these veiled cards, but maybe that's not right. Hmm. Vessel of Nascency is honestly artifact, creature, enchantment, land, or planeswalker. Letting you choose is very, very strong. That's fine. Virtue of Strength. Sure. Really, that's only $4. That's, again, much less than I thought. Let's see, Warehouse Tabby. Whenever enchantment you control is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, you make a 1/1 rat. Eh. Now Wicked Visitor, on the other hand. Other enchantment creatures. That's probably good, but I think I'm going to leave that for now. That, however, is very good. What is this? Whenever you draw your first card during each of your draw steps, draw a card. And if you have 9 or more cards in hand, sure. Okay, that's a decent number of enchantments. There's not a lot of actual enchantment support. Um, I mean, most enchantress stuff, or a good deal of it, is going to be uh, green, white, or just white. Like, I think was Blightcaster the only one we saw that. No, I guess there were some others. Okay. Um, I was gonna say the only one we saw that uh, did the whole whenever when you cast an enchantment, do blah blah blah. Because I think a lot of that is just white. Um, because you have the Sigil of the Empty Throne, for example, and that did not. Oh, top. Oh. Okay, so that's enchantment stuff. Let's go back to frog stuff because I want to get some of those Turn to Frog cards. Broken Counterpart, Frogify. Loses all abilities is also a very good Polymorphous Jest. Mercurial Transformation. And what was the other one? Turn to Frog. Um, Frog Tongue. It just gives the thing reach, but it draws you a card to replace it. I don't think I'm going to put it in, but that's 5 mana. Why did I think this was 3 mana? And we'll grab Incongruity as well. Okay, so how many cards are we at? We're at 57 cards already. Oh, okay. So I think we have a lot of card draw. So I think what we still need this switched scenes on me again, didn't it? Why? Um, all right, so let's look at. First of all, there's a couple of cards that I know I want. I know I want Looted Bonds. And Sanguine Bonds. Stop it! Why does this keep switching scenes? This is ridiculous. Sorry, I'm just watching to see if it switches scenes on me again. Um, Completely lost my train of thought. We got Sanguine Bond. We got Polluted Bonds. Let's look at whenever you gain life. Oh, is it when I hit enter? What is it? Let me see. Are there like hotkeys on this? Oh, you gotta be kidding. Okay, I think that's what it was. I think it was on. I think it was set to switch scenes whenever I hit enter. So hopefully that's done now. Uh, yeah, I'm looking for stuff like this. I don't know that I want to go that high. Yeah, this is not meant to be a life gain deck. So we're not gonna. Why don't I have this in my wall deck? That would be good. Although I don't really gain much life in that deck, so maybe not. Um, does Black's not affect frogs? I really thought he would. Pests, bats, insects, snakes, spiders. Huh, guess not. Okay. Okay. So what are we doing? What are we doing? We're looking for enchantments that either draw cards or gain life, or not gain life. Find lands. Uh, do I have to? 33. That's not okay. I can do that. For some reason, it won't just do keywords. It'll just okay. Let's see. Binding the Old Gods. Sure. It's removal. Finds a forest. Sure. Just sage you. Turns into a reach. Yeah, all right. 4 man is a little steep for ramp. Font of fertility. Now that's what I'm looking for. From beyond. No. Huh. Elfheim's Sanctuary. Maybe your upkeep. You may search your library for a basic land, put in your hand. If you do, skip your draw step this turn and shuffle. I don't know that I want that. I do like Greater Tanuki. Colony Heart Expedition is good. Omen of the Hunt is another one. Night Dealings. Tatsunari's life loss. It's not uh, damage, so Night Dealings doesn't count for that. Ordeal Annihilia solid. We want low mana value. So we can actually use it as ramp. Sure, that works. All right. So what are we at now? 68. Okay. So let's do the same thing, but for draw cards. I do like abundance quite a lot. Oh shit. Abundant growth. Ardwell's Bloodfast. That's a greed effect. Huh. You're gaining life. How does actual greed work? Oh, it's 1 mana to do. Okay. 4 up front, but it's only 1 to activate. Well, we'll take it anyway. We could run... Actually, we could... There are cards of a certain level that I would not normally consider running in the deck. Like, for example, Rhystic Study. Simply because I'm not about to go out and spend 36.57 on a single. But fortunately, I happen to open 3 of them out of the Eldraine, the like Enchanting Tales, whatever they are. So that's something I could actually use. So, what do these do? Benefaction of Veronis. You're going to reveal the top 5 cards of your library and put a creature and or enchantment from among them into your hand. Risk going to a grave. Commune with Spirits is 1 mana. Look at the top 4 cards. You reveal an enchantment or land. Put it in your hand. The rest go on the bottom. Oh, we don't actually want that. We don't want it to go on the bottom. We want it to go into the grave if we're doing anything. Top 5. Put a creature or enchantment into your hand. Rest go in the grave. Okay. Those are fine. What was the other one? There was another one that I did that had something like that. And I don't remember what it was. It's in here somewhere. Abundance, finding the only... I'm going to drop the unwilling ingredient. Herald, no. Tanuki. What was the card? There was a card that was... Huh. Oh, Vessel of Nascency, that's right. Yeah, okay, that's fine. You know what, let's look at the other vessels, because that was a cycle, right? Not include the draw. Must left Malignity. Target opponent exiles 2 cards from their hand, but only as a sorcery. Target player mills 3, then you draw a card. What about the Omens? Omen of the Dead. Return a creature from grave to hand. Sacrifice a scry. Omen of the Sea. Scry 2, then draw. Sure. Hmm. I'm guessing there's a lot of little, let's say, less than or equal to 2 enchantments that sacrifice themselves to do something, you know? Compulsion. That's interesting, actually. Because it's a graveyard deck to an extent. I say that, but I really don't have any like recursion. So like crop sigil's fine. It's really just about having an amount of stuff in graveyard. See, I like this, but it only sacrifices an artifact or creature, not enchantment. He is an enchantment himself, though. Hmm. I already have that. Font of Fortunes is good. Font of Return? Meh. It's alright. The 4 to activate is kind of the sticking point for me there. Hmm. Interesting. Sorry if you can hear that in the background. Oh, Mystic Remora. Yeah, honestly, at this point, I think I'm mostly just uh in the market for removal. Yeah, like Sinister Concoction. Soul Stare Expedition. Red land enters under your control. You may put a quest counter on it. Move 3 quest counters to return. Huh. Interesting. Ah. Huh. Cartouches and trials. That's interesting. I think if I wanted to do a cartouche deck, I would want to do 5 color, probably. Just because there's so few of them. There's only, what, 5 of each? One for each color. I don't think I want to run Wither Ground, but it does remind me of Stab Wound, which is a good card. Hmm. Hmm. I'm personally a fan of Artificer's Hex, but I'm not going to put it in this deck, I think. Excuse me. What's the wording on Pernicious Deed, I wonder? Because I know that's a board wipe. Oh, I'm dumb. I'm still limiting the mana value. Artifact, creature, and enchantment. Well, let's redo destroy each. So I had that limited by mana value. No, it's only the two. Okay. Hmm. Okay. What about destroy all? Uh, really? Hmm. Okay. Well, we're at 79 cards. We need to cut what, 15 ish. Um, we've got some. Yeah. Okay. So Krakenura. I like it. I don't know if it makes the cut. I don't know if Court of Vantress makes the cut. Hmm. This is just continuous self-mill, which I don't know if I want. I'm gonna drop that. Oh, that was the other one. Imprison in the Moon. Duh. Actually, there's a couple. Imprisoned in the Moon and Song of Dryads? Song of the Dryads. Okay. Of the Ancient Wood is fine. Strength from the Fallen. It's all right. Thirst for Meaning is all right, but I think I have enough other draw power. Rapid Hybridization is fine. It's mostly in there just because it says frog on it. But it destroys a creature, so. Let's look at some of these frogs, because some of them I don't think actually need to be in here. Erg. I like the Surveil. That's the main thing it's there for. Species Gorger only really important with enchantment creatures, and I don't think I have many of those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, no. Drop Species Gorger, especially since it's not a May. That's up to, what was the Riptide? Turn in enchantment, and that's enchantment. Yeah, so those are enchantment. Um, and return another enchantment, I'm fine with. It's the return a creature that I'm a little iffy on. This is just a big dude. And it's not a frog. They're changelings. I could put get Masquid Nexus in and make everything frogs. What changelings are in these colors? Amoeboid, Birthing Bows, Black Market Connections. Yeah, that makes changelings. Okay. Actually, that's a good card. Let's put that in because it makes frogs. Bloodline Pretender. Changeling Titan is a 7-7 champions. Chameleon Colossus. See, I like Chameleon Colossus, but it has protection from black, so Tatsunari can't give it flying. Ah. No, actually, that's bad. I was gonna say, oh, we could um play Marita the Frost and copy Kami so that we get more non-legendary Kamis to to stack up the effect, but nah. Now, of course, we could do that with the Sakashima that says that the legend rule doesn't apply to you and you can clone something. But I don't like that card, so I will not be using it here. Okay, so really we're just cutting cards at this point. Scrap heap, I think I'm gonna drop. Yeah. Crystal chimes is fine. Uh, Seiju reaches skyward. Yeah, I mean, that finds lands. I don't know if I really need that, though. Yeah, we can cut it. How many do we need to cut? We're at 77, so we want to get down to, oh, somewhere in the 63 to 65 range, I think. So we still need to cut a number of cards. What do the other courts do? Like, there's Court of Vantress there. What do the other ones do? Court of Ambition. Court of Bounty. Court of Cunning is Mill. Court of Garenbrig. +1/+1 counters. Huh, Court of Lochthwain's actually pretty good. Okay. We're not gonna get into the courts though. Some of those would be very good, but I think for the moment we are just gonna bypass those. Generous Visitor is Oath of the Ancient Wood, but on a 1-drop creature. I think we'll do without that, because at least Oath of the Ancient Wood is itself an enchantment. Plaxcaster. I'm gonna drop Plaxcaster. Omnibian is good with some things, but I don't think it's good here. Croconora. I'll keep Croconora. Croconora is solid. This does exile, so I'm fine with that. I'm gonna drop the Ordeal of Nylea. It's decent, but it's better if you can play it and trigger it on the same turn with other +1 counters, and I just don't have those. Witch's Vanity. That can go. It can only kill creatures that are mana value 2 or less. I don't really care about having a food, and a Wicked token is alright, but again, it doesn't trigger Tatsunari, so 72. Gray Slod. Um, I don't think we need that. It's all right, but I don't think we need that. Virtue of Strength. Eh. Virtue of Strength is a good card, but we don't need that much mana for what we're doing, I think. I think what's our highest mana value? 12, and that's the one that's this one, the behemoth that reduces by total mana value of. So it's 7. We have 2. And 1 is the vessel of or the virtue of strength, and the other is the Nihilious Colossus. And then we have a few 6s. Okay, so I think we can drop the virtue of strength because we don't need that much mana. We're not doing like crazy X cost stuff. And I mean, having the Garenbrig Growth Adventure Sorcery is all right, but we don't need this. And really, it just paints a big target on our back because that card is so powerful that when people see it, they'll say, oh, no, we need to get rid of that right now, even though we're really not doing much with it. So we're going to drop that, I think. Wiretapping. I'm fine with wiretapping. What was the other? There was another. Unless I already removed it. I might have already removed it. World Weary. It's basic land cycling in the early game, which is fine. And then it's -4/-4 to a creature in the late game, which is also fine. Yeah, we can keep that. It was a cemetery thing, I think. It was self-mill. Yeah, I think it's okay dropping that. Connections, Court of Enchantress. Enchantress's Presence. Font of Fertility gets a land. Font of Fortunes draws 2 cards. Fortify, Greed. Argothian was the really expensive one. Okay. I think we have a lot of card draw. Yeah, I think we have a lot of card draw, so I think we can ditch 1 or 2 of these. I really do like Abundance. Abundance is a very good card. Maybe we can drop these. I mean, they do fill your grave, but we're not really leaning into the grave filling. Yeah, that's a good point. We're not really leaning into the grave filling aspect as much. Like we've got the Gitrog and Urg and Grolnok. What does Grolnok do again? Whenever a frog you control attacks, mill 3. Whenever a permanent is put into your graveyard from your library, exile it with a croak counter. You can play lands and cast spells. Okay, so yeah, we're not super leaning into the threshold aspect there. So I think we can drop these Benefaction and the Commune with the Gods. I think I'll keep is it Vessel of Nascency? Yeah, just because artifact, creature, enchantment, land, or planeswalker. I mean, about a third of our deck is going to be creatures, a third is enchantments, and a third is lands. So, like, there's so far 7 cards in our deck that this does not hit. So it's really just pick the best of the top 4. So we can hold on to that, but Crop Sigil on the other hand. Yeah, this we can drop. It's a fine one drop, but we can get rid of that. Does Herald the Pantheon gain its life? Yes, it does. Okay. So we're at 67, so we need to cut at least 2 more, preferably something around 4 more, I think. How are we mana-wise? We could do a 5 drop, probably. Karok is good. What is our... Yeah, mostly 3, okay. So World Weary. I keep coming back to this card. And I think I still keep it. Wiretapping. No, I think we drop wiretapping. It's 5 mana, doesn't really do anything the turn it comes out, so. I mean, it puts the best of the top 5 under it, and then we can cast it later. But unlike the hideaway lands, it can be removed. So I think we can. I think we're fine without wiretapping. I think we have enough other card draw. Greater Tanuki channels to look for a basic land. That's all right. It's 3 mana to do, but oh well. Yeah, I like the turn to frog effects with Blightcaster. Actually, that was another one. What was the... I'm just going to take a look at cursed tokens, or cursed rolls. I mean, the flavor of that is... turning them into something, right? Okay, so the only ones I would be interested in are Asinine Antics and Gadwick's First Duel. And this is really only because it's an enchantment. So Asinine Antics, you can come in just as another pseudo board wipe. A potentially instant speed pseudo board wipe as well, I might add. So we need to cut 2 to 3 cards. Sinister Concoction is removal. Yoke of the Damned is kind of roundabout removal. I'd rather cut a card draw than a removal because we don't have as much removal, I think. And a lot of our card draw is repeatable, especially with our enchantresses. For example, this. I think I'm going to cut the your Ruin Expedition. Yeah, we have a lot of card draw. Like Gitrog. Yeah. Okay, so Omen of the Sea is pretty good. Font of Fortunes. How much does it activate? 2 mana to draw. Yeah, that's fine. Hmm. This is tricky. Need to cut somewhere between 1 and 3 more cards. One of the Dead. We can drop that. Not really doing graveyard stuff anymore. One of the Hunt finds a land. Yes. Puts us at 65. So we could leave it there. But I think I want to cut just 1 more card. Just don't know what it is. We're at 28 enchantments, 27 creatures. I guess. It should probably be a creature, right? It's probably Krakenora, isn't it? How many 3 drops? Yeah, we have so many 3 drops. I think it's Krakenora. I'm sorry, Krakenora. Reach is good, but I think that is correct. All right, so we're at 64 cards, so we need 36 lands. Um, well, we definitely want Reliquary Tower because we have so much card draw. So we're looking for land. Okay. Excuse me. Hmm. Blighted Woodland is good. Blooming Marsh. That's a fast land. I don't think we want that. We'll put it into Seiju. That's $30. Oh my god. Okay. Chukabog. I don't like fast lands in Commander. Like this kind, like quick lands where they enter tapped unless they're only your like second land. Not a huge fan of those. Let's see, we're Sultai, so Cabaret Courtyard. I was just trying to figure out what one of those lands is relevant to us, and none of them are because that was a uh, shard set, um, not a wedge set. Do Cavern of Souls name frogs? We do want a command tower. That's fine. See, now I don't mind things like this, like Deathcap Glade, where they enter tapped unless they're the third or later. Those I don't mind. So you control two or more other lands, yes. Catacomb. Oh, poor Dungeon Descent. I wish it was better. I really do. Evolving Wilds is good. Fabled Passage. Forest. Yes, this is the dull part of the stream where I just scroll through all of the lands that exist and see which ones can go in my deck. Oh, I've forgotten what these do, or what those are called. Passed the blue black one earlier. I think. Contaminated aquifer, yeah. I do like Hostile Hostile. And it actually wouldn't be terrible in the deck since the commander makes a token that you can sacrifice, but I don't think we'll be putting it in. I like Moonring Isle, sort of, because the ability is just so pretty useless, actually. Because it's pay a mana and tap. Look at the top card of target player's library. Only if you have two or more blue permanents. It doesn't let you do anything with it. It just lets you look at it. So if it's a card that's going to screw you over, you just know in advance that it's going to screw you over. Oboro. I wish I'd been able to get an Oboro before I dismantled my I had a mono blue Moonfolk deck. It was a Moonfolk landfall deck with Patron of the Moon. I wish I'd been able to get an Obero before I dismantled that. Just because it's perfect for the deck, obviously. Yeah, sorry, this is just the really slow section. Two or more other lands. Swamp. All right, I think that might be. Oh, we'll grab the three temples for a little bit of scry. I think that might be about where we are good. So I don't want to get too bogged down in non-basic lands because I do want to have basics. Color identity, damn. For a second, I was like, oh, War Room would be really good because he's technically only black, but it's color identity, and he has three colors in his color identity. So, oh well. Okay. So where did we put lands? 22. So we have 19 non-basic lands, and we need to get to. We need 14 more. Um. Let's see. Start off at 4 apiece. Where did swamps go? Puts us at 31, so we get 5 more. So, 1, 2, 3. So we're pretty even color distribution. 28 black pips, 28 blue pips, 38 green pips. Okay. So then we'll do like that. Yeah, that's fine, I think. Because then we have for Continued Aquifer is our Island Swamp, and then we want Drowned Catacomb. Well, maybe we do. Two or more other lands. Two or more other lands. Okay, so we're not completely even, but oh well. I think that's solid. So now we're at 100 cards, and yeah. So I'm just gonna reposition a bit because my back is killing me. Then we'll goldfish a couple games and wrap this up. Let's see. There's tapped unless you control two or more other lands. Load drops. Maybe Dreamroot Cascade is not the best card to have in this deck. But let's see. So we can keep this, I think, because we can draw. Oh, just 3 mana. All right. So turn one, play this. It enters tapped. Next, we play Swamp. Play a Font of Fertility, the Dreamroot Cascade. Next, we play another Swamp. We sacrifice. Do we sacrifice the Font of Fertility? I don't think we sacrificed the Font of Fertility yet. I think we put out. I think we put out our boy Tatsunari. Then let's see. We'll do. Turn to play tapped. Yeah. All right. So we'll bring in Omen of the Hunt, which makes us Kami. And we find a basic land card, put on the battlefield tapped. I think that's gonna be a forest. Excuse me. So let's search for a forest. Next, Temple of Melody enters tapped. We can peek the top card. Sure, that's fine. Because we can play Destiny Spinner, trigger Tatsunari, or trigger Kami, rather. And we can. Oh, we don't want to sacrifice Font of Fertility quite yet. So we'll put out a Seal of Primordium. Next, we draw the Shimmerwing. That's 2 mana to sacrifice, so we can't play them both, unfortunately. So what we do there is play out the Shimmerwing, which does trigger Kami. In our next turn, ooh, Sanctum Weaver's good. Upkeep will return. I do want to get more land. We'll return the Omen of the Hunt. Then we will crack the Font of Fertility. Whoops. That is not what I meant to do. I'm gonna find an island. And then we will bring in the Sanctum Weaver. which triggers Kami. That presently taps for 1, 2, 3, 4 mana. And enters tapped. Um, yeah. I was gonna. Oh, yeah, we have mana. Duh. Bring in the Blightcaster. And then we can. This taps for 1, 2, 3, 4. Omen of the Hunt. Kill something. Do that. Um, find a. Well, let's find another island. That's great. We'll hold off on that because that is up to 2, 3, 4, 5. Polluted Bonds, which triggers Kami. And then we will Mirror Maid the Polluted Bonds, which triggers Kami again. And I think that's where we will leave that. So let's Goldfish again. Will I run both Bosejus? Which ones are you talking about? Like Boseju who shelters all? I don't have that in this presently. Um, but the newer Boseju I do have. What was your I'm almost a little afraid to ask what your turn one that provoked such a response was. Sack the Fabled Passage, find a swamp. Find a swamp. There we go. Also, welcome. If I did not say that, I don't think I said that, but welcome. You know, I don't actually remember offhand what Seiju does. Oh yeah, definitely not. I'm only running, I think, 8 instants and or sorceries. I think it's about 4 of each. So that's that is not in the cards. Haha. Uh, anyway, um, oops. Oh, this is a weird interface. Okay. The hell? Island. Creamer Cascade into Grim Guardian. Island, so we can Ristic and Font of Fertility. Solving for a Oops. Evolving Wilds for an island. I think we bounce the Riptide Chimera. Play out Abundance. And then, of course, Abundance makes this very hard to simulate, so we'll start over. Yeah, so I think the deck's looking pretty decent. Um, so far it seems to goldfish all right. The only thing that I'm not a huge fan of is this, because I have so many low drops that having these lands enter tapped is not really helping. Um, so I'd rather run like Morphic Pool, but oh well, that's fine, I think. Oh, what is? That's still below average. I'm curious. What is it? Because there's a way to sort by salt, right? Asinine Antics. Polymorphous Jest. Okay, okay. Seiju. Ristic Study, of course. Sanguine Bond. Polluted Bonds. Okay. Yeah, there's Gitrog. Yeah, there's a few in there that are that make sense for the the salt score. But yeah, overall, I think this looks pretty good, and I think we will end it off there. So, thank you for watching. Those of you who are watching, sorry for the issues with the scene changing. That was really weird, but I think we got it sorted out. So in the future, it should not do that. Thanks again for watching. I will see y'all later.